The power of passion. How to use it to your advantage. Have you ever come across someone who's just so passionate about what they do? They are at the top of their game and excelling in all areas because of their passion. Passion can be a huge driving force behind success, but it's also something that everyone feels differently about and can mean different things to different people. In this video, we'll explore what passion really means and how to use it to your advantage in all areas of your life and your business. Lots of people can turn their passions into their career. You would think that those people can make money from their passions are unicorns. So why are they so elusive? So how would you find it? If you find it, should you use it? So how do you do that? Let's answer all these questions and more in this video. Here's a video on how to figure out what you love to do and how to get paid for it. Stick around to the end. People say they feel like they have no hobbies or passions. They find themselves to be perpetually unexcited about things and think it's difficult to find something worth their time. Finding your passion is a common issue people go through. In any case, the general rule is to just go out and do stuff. But of course, there is a deeper problem here. If you don't know what it feels like to be passionate, you will not recognize it. First and foremost, it's important to know what it feels like to be passionate. First of all, do you know what the word passion actually means? The definition of it is that it's a very strong and barely controllable emotion. One of the few ways to understand the true meaning of passion is when someone cuts you off. It doesn't mean that you may have a passion for LA traffic, because it boosts your strong and uncontrollable emotion. What they were actually trying to say is that they are interested in, fascinated by, or enthusiastic about something. That can only come to mean excitement and curiosity. You have the problem of thinking that the feeling should be overwhelming, like the waves crashing against the shore, when you find something that you don't sleep over. So, no, that's not true passion. That's just obsession. They are mostly spur of the moment, something that grabs your attention and pulls you into it, like hearing a song you like, finding an article in a book, or catching a video on YouTube. And suddenly you are watching other videos or scrolling to the comment section or writing down questions. It's hard to miss the moment of excitement when passion overtakes you. For example, you get that feeling a lot. You shouldn't put too much hope in the idea that your true passion is waiting for you, because it doesn't exist. A passionate pursuit is like love. How lucky are you to find your passion happen to be right in your own backyard? To uncover more about yourself, instead of trying to find new activities that align with your interest, explore your current interest in new ways. Now, let's discuss how to chase your passion. Even when people find something they're passionate about, they're too afraid to pursue it, often out of fear that it's pointless or isn't their true passion. I have to believe that it's just a phase, because if people can just abandon hobbies with a minimal stigma, that means I can stop worrying about it. It's look as if they're unable to choose anything flaky, chaotic, or inconsistent with others. Last year you drew, but now you're programming, and you want to create a TikTok account next. Will people respect if you present yourself in that way? Ironically, nobody cares about you either. They're too busy thinking about how they'll look to other people. I encourage you to pursue whatever you're curious about. How do you do it? Put in all your efforts. Treat it as your full-time job. Develop your craft. Read instructional materials. Ask masters for help. Take a financial risk and buy the necessary equipment. Embrace the process and stay invested. If the experience doesn't excite you, let go and move on. I can understand why some would argue that this is a waste of money and time. It's not. We support you investing your time and money in whatever excites you. Well, it's time we address how to utilize your passion in your professional life. The happiest and most successful people we know have a balanced approach to making money and being passionate about their jobs. When your passion starts to push you too hard, you'll eventually come up against a barrier that you will have to find a way to get over. Once you move past the novice stage, you should push on, because your passion will motivate you. Publishing your writing, displaying it in a case, selling it online, and getting feedback on it will force you to keep practicing and improving. You're not doing it for money. You're doing it for yourself. The whole point of publishing it, even if nobody wants to buy it or read it, is that you're still able to appreciate it. find it rewarding, and learn how to improve. For that reason, we need to mention you need to be proficient at it. If you want your passion to be life giving, it needs you to give a challenge. You're part of a group that does what you're doing, and so you can say you're an amateur insert here. Next, let's talk about what brought you here your desire for success and making money. Time and time again, it has been said that if you do what you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life. But that is not necessarily the truth. By extension, you can make money from your passions if your passion is making money. Artists work hard for long hours trying to find someone who will appreciate their art. And if you're an unknown, it's even more difficult. You don't all have to be painters and famous artists to earn huge amounts of money for a single piece. There are a lot of people who are trying to make a living out of what they love. But the truth is that never works out. That's because if you ever start making money off your passions, you've traded a career for a hobby. And hobbies don't satisfy you. Regardless of how invested you are in something, it's necessary to keep your finances separate from your passion pursuits. This is about money, love, and passion. They are fundamentally different but are of equal importance. One feeds you and your family, and other feeds your soul. And if you do it for the sake of doing it, do the best you can in your profession and whatever you care about. Either of them would suffice. Passion is a great tool that can help you be successful. Don't let your job take over all of your time and so never have time for your passions and interests. If you find yourself with no other hobbies or social life outside of work, then you should consider finding a different place where you will have more free time and an office full of people who also have other things they like to do. There's no sense in being miserable at work because it's taking up too much of your life. Somewhere in the future, you might be so good at your passion that someone will be willing to pay you to do it. But only you can decide when to make a switch. Though we discussed how a passion could also be a job, it would still leave you with a plenty of other passions to continuously fuel your creativity. The drive and progress you will make in your work because of your passion will in turn produce boost in your energy levels for both aspects of your life. Likewise, your passion for your work will get the same push and give you the necessary resources to carry on with. That's why it's important to have a balance of the two. There is no reason to solely focus on one and ignore the other. Don't make your work the sole focus of your life, and avoid the situation where your passion is the only source of your income. One reason people struggle to find their passions is that they're unwilling to explore work opportunities. They are under the misconception that when they find their true passion, it will make all their work disappear. Most often, when they do find something they're good at, they spend a lot of time pursuing it to make it a profession. Yes, this often leads them not liking their work in the end. Thus, the cycle continues. In that case, don't worry about turning your job into your passion. Just start your own business. You need to make a conscious decision before you even start anything that you're curious about. Once you do, passion will turn into work and the whole thing will change for you. In order to work within your passion, you will have to settle for working jobs that are monotonous and low paying. You might be eager at first because it seems like your favorite thing to do is your new reality. But the excitement will wane very quickly. In order to avoid suffering the disadvantages of the shift, you need to keep in mind these consequences. Additionally, you could use it as a way to explore a side hustle as opposed to jumping in head first. There are too many movies about people quitting their job to follow their passions. They live in a fantasy world if they're younger or don't have responsibilities to think about. It's very bad advice to quit your job and turn to fantasy. It's possible to work 5 to 10 hours a week and make your passion into a career just fine. Third, identify your competitive advantage. Just because you are passionate about something doesn't mean you will be successful. Alternatively, take time to perfect your craft and passion before turning it into a career. Maybe you know the market really well. You know what needs are not being met. You know how to do things better or teach others how to do them. So we can know that starting out, we should take all our passions just as seriously as we take skill stacking. Consider using the skills you use at your current job, and over time, learn a few new ones to perform your new task. At first, you will do almost everything yourself. One final suggestion: when it comes to startups, Remember to get at least one paying customer before expanding your service. So all you need is just one person to give you money, and that will be it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment.